Back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the second day of February 2026 in the capital city, Nairobi. Traffic chaos. And, you know, it's affect lots of, people are there and we can see the advisory is being given. So we'll be following up to see if it's all opened up and the go-slow on public service transport vehicles coming to a close. So we'll be considering that. Hopefully, Brian, just waiting for your go-ahead so that we can join Philip Boyd, who's the president of the Kenya Skiing Federation. We are supposed to be doing from Eldoret via Zoom because Kenya has got a Winter Olympics team. Isola Board and Sabrina Wanjiko Zimada. So once that is ready, then we shall be going over to him. But right now, one conversation we are going to have is esports, and we have got a quarterfinalist from the Africa e-football championships that took place in Morocco. He's a student at the Multimedia University, 20 years old. Hannington Kiplagat. Hannington, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, actually, this sport that you're in, you are competing in it. We're just having a conversation, just before you came onto the set. And Kenya e-football mobile champion, but interesting enough, your coach is also active in this, also a university student. But what's the e-football mobile, scene in Kenya like, just for our background?
E-football in Kenya, it's a growing sport. Most of the people who are playing this game are mostly campus students and high school students. So as you said, my coach, Mohamed Nurki, he's a streamer. He's actually the biggest streamer in East and Central Africa.
Speedway too.
Yeah. So he streams casually. So most of the people who are watching this are the campus students. Campus, you have a lot of free time.
How?
As much as they say you have studies, you have to balance your studies and something you're doing extra. At the end of the day, you have four classes a day. So from 4 to the next day, you're free. You're free to do whatever you want. And there's the weekends. Mm-hmm. So football, this is something, it's, when I started back in high school, this was something you're playing for fun. You're not even sure where it's going to end. But in campus, having a lot of free time, as much as I do other things, this is where you meet people, like fellow students, fellow university students, and you get to connect with them using this game. Most of the people I talk to, we don't even know ourselves on our personal level. We just play. Someone just comes and they're like, bro, let's play a game. You don't even have to have that background check on someone. You just connect using this game.
Wait, I'm a little bit too conservative, such that if I'm going to play my opponent, I would have to go and research. If it is, for example, Nairobi United playing against Azam, you try to find out more about Azam. But how different is it, the mobile platform and vis-a-vis the console platform, what we basically call FIFA type?
The only difference between the mobile and the console category is console has taken root. It has already developed. Most of the competition you're going to have, even when they hear esports, they're like console, someone's playing FIFA. If football, this is something you're playing on the phone, so the roots, but it's basically the same thing. The only difference is they use the console, we use our phones.
That means one thing. A power bank is your friend?
No, you don't need a power bank. Just a good phone with good battery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and good internet.
That is the second one I was coming to. Having stable internet and such that if you're going to play online, say against somebody who is in France, they don't have an advantage because they have got better bandwidth. So they're probably half a move, so to speak, away from it. How do you optimize this?
When you're playing someone who's from abroad, I usually connect via servers if it's on the tournament. Mostly if it's hosted by football, we connect via servers. But if you're playing a friendly against them, we use connection peer-to-peer, that is connection to connection. So if you're playing someone from abroad, both of you will experience drag. There'll be this drag because of how far apart you are. Mm-hmm. But when it's an official tournament, for instance, the one that they host almost every month inside the game, we connect via servers, so you don't experience that drag.
All right. Now, looking at it and how people now compete in Kenya, because this is a young people's game, this is what you have, and that means that connecting via through servers, number one, ensuring that there's security of some sort for your side. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody to try and access whatever it is in your phone rather than that one app. How then do you make the draws for the competitions if you're going to have this, and the way that it is judged?
There are two types of competitions. They're the ones that we usually create on our own. You have some friends, maybe 15, 20, you decide on maybe a prize pool, you contribute, then you play. So there's a set of rules that will decide how we're going to do this tournament. So that is what we decide on our own. You say you're going to play 12 minutes, these are the rules. If something happens, for instance, the disconnections, if it disconnects at this minute, we'll be doing this. But on the official tournaments, most of the tournaments that we play here in Kenya, we don't have that much tournament, but the ones that we have, we usually avail ourselves to play physically so that there'll be a third person to see whatever is happening. Because when I'm at my house, I can do whatever I want. I might be losing, then I just decide to do something on the connection. And then I say, like, the game disconnected. So if it's something that you're going to be judged based on, we have to avail ourselves. The other day, on Saturday, we had a competition, Kenya Police Circle. That was the Capital Series. They already play the Kisumu, Eldoret, Nakuru, so these are the Capital Series. So whoever wanted to play, we availed ourselves. We played we played in a single room, we're all seated. We have groups, so it's easier that way to manage than when someone is playing from the comfort of their home.
So just give us a whole idea of this setup. So you brought in what you call the Capital Series. So you have got these people from Kisumu, Mombasa, Eldoret, Nairobi, put them together in a room, the server first. And number two, having the third party observe, because they now have to observe it via screen. Just give us that setup.
Now for the Capital Series, the one that happened, it happened in different times. There was the one at Kisumu, then there was the Nakuru one, there was the Eldoret one. So this Saturday we had the one for Nairobi.
The Nairobi one.
So the ones who are participating are the people from Nairobi. We're supposed to have a grand final where the finalists from Kisumu, Nakuru and Eldoret will all come together. But the one that was in Nairobi, you come with your phone. We weren't provided internet, you have to play using data. So in such a format, we use the friendly mode. And friendly mode, it's connection to connection. So you just use your bundles and mine, we connect directly without servers. So you can experience drag, there's that, you can't avoid it, so at least it's somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So, and then the role of the third party who's observing?
So the third party is basically a referee. Yeah. So he's there just in case something happens. When there's a third person, you see your game is lagging, you just call him and he'll just check straight away. So if it's lagging, then he'll decide the game is lagging, stop, maybe restart, clear something, then you play again. So if you already scored a goal, he can say, we'll carry over this goal. Mm-hmm. Maybe the goal won't be allowed, so you're going to play a new game, so such things.
Let's talk about, the competition, for you winning the eFootball Mobile Championship in Kenya, and that means that you now get to compete at the continental level. What was that selection process?
We played the Kenya eFootball Cup last year. It was April, March 22nd, around there. So we played the eFootball Kenya Cup. We had
March 22nd. The same day Kenya was worked by Gabon of Nyayo.
It's March or April, around the same time. I'm not sure the date. So we played group stage matches. It was physical, KCB grounds, Ruaraka.
Okay.
We had lots of people who had registered. So we had lots of groups. So we started with the group stage. So the first two from each group qualified to the knockout stage from round of 32. So it was a tough tournament, I'd say, because it was the first ever physical tournament that was going to have anyone can register. So it was a tough one. Played how many games? In a single day, we played all the games. That Saturday, it was on a Saturday. So from morning around 9, we all seated in a room. So we played lots of games, up to around 9 p.m. in the evening.
So I'm just trying to imagine, you're like this. From 9 a.m.
From 9 a.m. in the morning. So we had 2 rounds because we were many. So the first played from 9 to 12, then 12 to 3. That is for the group stage. So they split into 2. Group A to maybe H, then the rest. So they played the first one because the room could occupy all of us at the same time. So that is the first group, then the second group. So at least you get a break to get something to eat. Then after there, went to the round of 32. That was a best of 3. So the first person to win 2 games proceeds. So up to the finals.
Then here you are, moving on to the finals. Just describe that, because I feel, at some points as you go higher, they can decide from 3 to 5.
The finals was best of 5, but the rest of the games from round of 16 to quarterfinals, that was best of 3. So, in all the games I played, I feel like the toughest match, that was the quarterfinals. The prize pool usually caters for 4 people.
Yes.
So if you reach semi-finals, you have something in your pocket. So quarterfinals, that game was hard. I still remember the guy. Actually, I lost the first game to him, but you still have 2 more, because if you win 2 games, you're the one who proceeds. So
what's his name? The shout.
His name is, he calls himself Maestro. So I don't know his original name. I just know he's Maestro.
You ni mwanaume kabisa. You don't call each other chief, master, what? For 5 years, they don't even know each other's names. But everything's okay. So, but look, you get the chance to represent the country. You lose to Mali, you beat a player from Lesotho, a draw with a player from Zimbabwe. How do you see the competition that you faced at the group stage at the Africa eFootball Mobile Championship?
The group stage. That was the first games that I played while I was in Casablanca. So there was that tension. This is my first tournament. I have the whole country is leaning on me. And my coach, Mohammed, he was streaming. So I'm pretty sure there's lots of people who are watching me. So there's that pressure that's mounting on you. You have to win. So the first game was the one that I drew with Zimbabwe. That game, it wasn't hard. It wasn't that hard. It's just the state of mind. You just seated there. This is my first game, like you put in a lot of pressure on yourself. You're like, I have to do something. This is the first game.
So this is a game where you're either at 1-1, but within the time frame, no one's winning the game.
Yeah, no one's winning.
So, okay, no penalties, no extra time.
No penalties. The group stage, there's no penalty, no extra time, just 90. It's a 6-minute game, 6 minutes half. So those are 2 halves, 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Mali,
actually the game of Mali came after beating the Lesotho guy. So I think I was overconfident. You're from beating a guy, so you're pumped, and you just can't wait for the next person.
Yeah, 10-0.
So I'm like, if I beat this guy 10-0, bring the next person. So the next game, I didn't even get time to compose myself. I just came off that game, then you're like, you're next, so go back. So with all the excitement, I went back. Then I conceded fast, so pressure. I wasn't even myself. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not even playing. And so I ended up losing that game 2-1.
Knockout phases, both results 2-1, a win against Ghana and a loss to Morocco. But how would you find the players, Yassine and the Ghanaian player? Because I'd like to understand, how that competition is in Africa.
The difference between Yassine and the Ghanaian player, Yassine has more experience. Even playing against him, he had more experience because he won the first one, I won the second game. So it was best of 3. So the third game was the determiner. So the third game he scored first. And he had experience. So after scoring first, I didn't get the ball. Keeper, give it to the fullback, back to the keeper. So you can't do anything about that.
But having seen that, and to demystify this sport as one for armchair coach potatoes, they simply say, do it for recreation, but move it out there. What are the opportunities, especially from, because for you, at this point, you're getting into what I would call semi-professional before going fully professional in this?
There's lots of opportunities, especially for the comrades. Like I said, you have a lot of time. So if you, and most of, the reason I call them comrades is because of the money, everything. You don't get that much money, so you're supposed to have some side hustles to help you at least get by the day. So if you're a comrade and you're playing the game, there is this tournament that we are usually hosting online, maybe weekly, monthly. There's lots of tournaments. So if you engage in such tournaments, obviously, if you win or you get to the semi-finals, you'll get something. So that is one of the few things that you can get from it. But yeah, if you also play professionally, you get chances. Like, for instance, I went to Morocco. I'd never traveled outside the country. So there's also that opportunity.
You're from Kitale. Where from Uganda?
I didn't even have a passport. I'm being told you're going to Casablanca. So it was a nice experience. And there's still more to come. Like I said, the Capital Series, they're going to be a grand final. So in the grand finals, I'm supposed to defend my slot. So it's either I retain it or someone else gets a chance.
Date for the grand finals of this Capital Series. Tuambie, so that we know and we can come and watch this.
So the grand finals, I think it's scheduled for April, almost the same time as the one that was there last year. So they've already played for Nairobi, Kisumu, Nakuru, and Eldoret. I think there's supposed to be one for Mombasa, I'm not sure. So the 4 finalists in all the counties. So we'll meet here in Nairobi. I'm not sure the date, around April. So we're going to play for the #1 slot. So they're coming to challenge my sports.
Okay, so your slot is there. This is Kenya's e-football champion, and he doesn't use a console. This is what they use. And his coach is
Mohamed Nurki.
Is Mohamed going to be playing, by the way?
No, he's a coach.
He's a coach. So if you get to coaching, you just tell them out. Okay. But I thought that was the open spaces that you guys were creating, like you young people were creating, where you can also be a coach and a player. Just like happens in golf, where a pro golfer can play and coach.
The only difference between a coach and a player is the player has a lot of things to handle, especially the pressure. The coach is okay, but he doesn't want that pressure that the player gets.
All right. So I see probably he would sack you as a player, but not you sack him as a coach. But anyway, thank you very much. Huntington Kiplagat, Kenya's top e-football gamer, was in the top 8 in Africa at the Africa E-Football Championship in Morocco. Asante sana. April, let's see how you defend your title. We shall be streaming because now we have to catch up with them. Basically, tunatolewa kabireta, tunaeko injector. When it comes to these things, that is how I would put it. And also thank you to Kerry Mwangi, who was here with us earlier. He's the Secretary General of Gateball Kenya. My name is Daniel Wahome. Time for us to leave. And after this, we shall have Kurunzi Mashlani, followed by Tamrini. Have a good day.